this final strategy of the enemy is an attack on existence. Can't attack God himself. God is impassible. Can't hurt God. But we are created in the image and likeness of God. So what's the next best thing? You can't go after God directly. Go after his children. Now, you and I know. Now, many of you are parents and grandparents. You have children. If I wanted to get to you, if I were a bad guy, and I wanted to get to you, yeah, you got it. That's right. I think that's, it came to me a while back that the reason, one reason priests in the Latin Rite are not permitted to marry, it's a strategic reason, a tactical reason. If I had children, biological children, guess how the devil would get at me? Oh, he'd have leverage. He'd shut me up in a hurry. Just like if I took one of your children and held a knife to their throat. You do whatever I want you to do. We're dealing with a ruthless enemy. We are God's children. Now, God is beyond all that, but he loves us. I'm using an analogy here. You love your children, God loves us. You have a dim intimation of the love of God because you know how you can suffer, in a sense, for your children. You say, well, God can't suffer. You're right. God is impassible by definition. But God did suffer. Oh, that's impossible. God can't suffer. Is Jesus God? Yes, he's the second person of the Blessed Trinity. Did Jesus suffer? Yes, through his human nature. So can we say God suffers? And if you know what we're talking about, yes. In his divinity per se, no, he can't suffer. He's impassible. But God, through his human nature, Jesus, divine person, through his human nature, experiences suffering. It's a mystery. It's a paradox. Okay? How does the devil, in a sense, lash out at God? He goes after us. Those made in the image and likeness of God. This end game, this strategy. Now, I think ultimately the devil knows he can't win, but pride blinds him. You may say, why does he bother? Doesn't he know he's beaten? He was beaten at the cross. Yes, but there's a pride. His malice exceeds everything else. There's a pride that blinds him. And so he tries to do as much damage as he can in the time that he has. And his time is short, and I believe he knows it. I remember once a saying of one of the desert fathers. A novice went to him and said, Father, will they be like us in ages to come? You know, will they be as rigorous like we are? Will they pray like we do? You know how we stay up all night and pray? Will they fast like we do several days a week? And the old monk, as though looking into the future, said, oh, my son, no, in the age to come, men will become so weak that they will be scarcely able to keep vigil one night without falling asleep. They'll scarcely be able to fast for one day without fainting. But they will be greater than we. For we fight Satan chained. They will fight Satan unchained. And when I read that the first time, I couldn't help but thinking, is it now? Have we arrived?